Good evening and welcome to the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin for Monday, October 27, 2025. I'm Colin Abrams. In the headlines tonight, she was our sunshine. Family demands justice after 6-year-old killed in Georgetown gas station explosion. Mother of slain policeman outraged as suspect in son's death granted $1 million bail. Hero taxi driver saves lives in deadly gas station explosion. President orders full-scale probe into deadly Regent and King Street's explosion. The EPA and police team up to crack down on noise offenders, and 1,800 Guyanese now working offshore as ExxonMobil expands local workforce. Now, for the news in depth. Grief and outrage filled the home of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne, who was killed in Sunday night's devastating explosion at the mobile gas station on Regent and King Streets. The mother, Samantha Roach, is demanding justice as authorities launch a manhunt for the prime suspect believed to be a Spanish-speaking foreign national linked to the deadly blast. More in this report.
Justice. Because my child don't deserve to die like that. I need justice. All I ask him for is justice for my child. That is I heard everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Samantha Roach, the inconsolable mother of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne, who died Sunday evening at the mobile gas station Regent and Wellington Streets. The family went into the gas station compound, which houses a KFC, to purchase their usual Sunday afternoon treats. Preliminary investigations revealed that earlier in the evening, a male of mixed ethnicity, believed to be a foreign national, was seen at the location with 2 bulky black plastic garbage bags. He reportedly attempted to dispose of the bags in a garbage bin at the station, but was prevented from doing so by an attendant. The individual subsequently left the area, heading south along King Street to the western side of the fuel station. At approximately 19:36 hours, a powerful explosion was heard on the southwestern side of the compound, near the section where bottled cooking gas is stored. The blast caused extensive damage to the building, several parked vehicles, and nearby properties. When Ghana TV9 News visited the scene Monday morning, investigators were combing the scene for any evidence that could lead to an arrest of the suspect. At Soroya's Breda Street work and rust home, family and friends gathered to support the grieving mother and other relatives of the child. Speaking with Ghana TV9 News, Roach said it was the usual routine for the child and her cousins to visit KFC on Sunday.
Chicken. That's the normal Sunday afternoon. They go to buy chicken. All 5 of them. Yeah, sleep. I went there back to the OUN. Yeah, sleep. When they reach there, then this explosion. They didn't have to come out the car. Them and get food. The rest of them had to hospitalized, but the little girl, the 6-year-old, Sarah, she died. Probably on the spot because somebody finds she pitched out the car.
The other persons in the car at the time of the tragic incident were Soroya's aunt, Janika Hooper, 27-year-old teacher, Hooper's mother, Yvonne Jonas, 71 years old, and the child's cousins, 12-year-old Sadia McIntosh and 7-year-old Rashida Lord. These 4 patients remained hospitalized. The 2 children who sustained serious injuries underwent emergency surgery and are currently in critical but stable condition, according to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. The 2 adult women with multiple soft tissue injuries, including one with a fractured leg, are under close observation and stable condition.
That's like my auntie foot break. The boy, the 8-year-old boy, he all one side on his head. Like the brains was showing. Yeah, lash away in his back with a big hole in his back. The 11-year-old girl, she got hole in her face, her foot and so. The driver, she traumatized, she can't see nothing, she's not hearing.
The mother of four recounted the last time she saw her youngest daughter was earlier Sunday afternoon when she expressed excitement to go with her relatives on the outing. Soraya was described as energetic, full of life, and a joy to be around. The explosion also damaged four other motor vehicles and caused minor structural damage to nearby buildings. Ranks of the Criminal Investigation Department, led by senior officers, processed the scene and collected several items of evidential value, including fragments of black plastic bags and adhesive tape, which have been sent for forensic analysis. Investigations are ongoing. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has ordered an immediate and comprehensive investigation into the deadly explosion at the mobile fuel station at Regent and King Streets, Georgetown, which claimed the life of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne and left four others injured. Faith Sandy has details in this report.
In a statement issued from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where he is currently on official duty, President Ali said he received detailed briefings late last night and early this morning on the tragic incident and the condition of the injured victims Rashad Lord, Sadaya McIntosh, Janika Hooper, and Yvonne Jonas. I have directed that a full scale investigation be launched immediately and that every available resource and investigative tool be utilized to determine the precise cause and circumstances of this incident, the President stated. He also confirmed that an individual of interest has been identified and has instructed that the person's image be circulated widely to seek the public's assistance in locating and providing any information that could aid investigators. The president noted that Minister of Home Affairs Onish Warren visited the grieving family of little Soraya Bourne on Sunday evening to offer condolences, while Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony continues to monitor the medical treatment being provided to the injured victims. I extend my deepest sympathies to all those affected and their families, President Ali expressed. I have spoken directly with the medical teams attending to the injured and have instructed that every form of support and care be provided. The government, he assured, will leave no stone unturned in pursuing justice for the victims and ensuring that those responsible are held accountable. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
The grief is raw and the outrage is real for Elizabeth Hayes, mother of Police Lance Corporal Richard Marvin Hayes, who was fatally shot last Thursday at Vreeden Hoop. Hayes' mother is calling the manslaughter charge against the accused businessman unjust, vowing to pursue legal action to secure what she describes as justice for her son. More in this Adana Doric report.
Family of 35-year-old Lance Corporal Richard Hayes is still reeling from his tragic death last Thursday during an alleged confrontation with businessman Robert Hussein, 37 of Crane Housing Scheme, West Coast, Demerara. Hussein appeared at the Virgin Hoop Magistrate Court on Monday charged with manslaughter and was granted $1 million bail. For his mother, the decision is unacceptable.
And I feel very upset about this whole situation because nobody is supposed to get charged for manslaughter. I think as a police officer, he was they was to charge him for murder, and the court got to decide if it's manslaughter. It's going to break down. So the whole family upset about it, and everybody knows the foul play.
The woman expressed heartbreak and frustration, insisting that her son's status as a police officer and the circumstances of his death should warrant a more serious charge. The grieving mother says the family intends to pursue legal action, but will first lay her son to rest.
Moving forward is to bury my child and then take further action to the matter.
All right.
To the matter.
What would that further option look like? Court case, a lawyer? What are you thinking?
I'm going to take a lawyer and I'm going to fight the case.
And what exactly will you be fighting for, Mom?
Justice. Justice for my son.
Police says Hayes had visited Husein's cell phone shop at Hoop the day before the shooting to inquire about several mobile phones. He returned the following morning to make a purchase, during which a confrontation reportedly occurred. However, eyewitnesses say the altercation ensued after the policeman tried to return a defective phone he purchased the day prior. Investigators stated that the suspect claimed Hayes became hostile and allegedly threw a cell phone heat gun, striking him in the chest. Hussein then reportedly drew his licensed firearm and discharged a single round, hitting Hayes in the right side of his chest. The injured officer was rushed to the West Demrara Regional Hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. As the investigation continues, the family say they will not rest until the man they believe killed their son is fully held accountable. For now, they are preparing to say their final goodbyes while bracing for what could be a long legal battle. Adano Doric and TV9 News.
Thank you, Adana. Meanwhile, in a Facebook post, former Minister David Patterson opined that in no other country would anyone accused of shooting and killing a serving police officer be granted bail, much less charged for the lesser count of manslaughter. He said in other countries, irrespective of the circumstances, shooting a police officer is treated as an attack on the entire law enforcement establishment, since anyone assaulting a police officer off duty or not, much less shooting and killing, endangers the entire law enforcement establishment. A taxi driver is now being dubbed a hero after the night's alleged bombing that claimed the life of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne. The man said after the explosion he helped get the children to safety before he himself collapsed. Police have since issued a wanted bulletin for the man suspected to be the prime suspect and are asking for the public's assistance.
A night of horror unfolded at the mobile gas station on Regent and King Streets, Georgetown, when a powerful explosion ripped through the compound on Sunday, killing 6-year-old Soraya Bourne and injuring several others. Amid the chaos and flames, one man, a taxi driver Andre McCrae, became an unexpected hero. McCrae said he was parked at the station when the blast erupted. The man speaking with the media explained what transpired.
Oh, when I sit in my car, I see like a vapor, like, and I hear boom, and when I catch myself, I jump in there and coming on back in my car, and I fall through the window because the door open, and I come drag out. When I drag out, I stand up and I look. I see this car there in fire too, and I run out the car, pick up the people them, call another man come with me, and that was it. You pulled the little girl out? Yes. I take the guy first, the youth man first, so he run to me first. I take him one side. When I go to the girl, she fall on her face. When I pick her up, she was almost died. The other one, the mother run back and pick up the other girl on the other side.
Instead of fleeing, McCrae ran towards the fire. He grabbed extinguishers and helped pull victims, including 2 children, from the burning car. The explosion left the station in ruins and nearby buildings damaged. The man said he himself suffered injuries and had to be taken to the hospital.
Yet I'm supposed to go back, but I'm still feeling indoor pain and burning in my body, and so yeah.
I know you're a little shake up until this morning.
Right now, yeah, things. Right now I ain't feel things. I ain't even getting for hear much you said.
Investigators say surveillance footage captured a Spanish-speaking man placing a bag near the area where bottled gas was stored moments before the blast. Police believe the bag contained an explosive device and have released an image of the suspect, urging anyone with information to come forward immediately. Authorities are treating the explosion as a deliberate attack. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, currently overseas, has ordered a full-scale investigation and mobilized all resources to bring the perpetrator to justice. When Ghana TV9 News visited the scene Monday, an advanced team from the Ghana Forensic Science Laboratory, which includes Indian forensic scientists specialized in fire and explosive scene investigations, were at the scene of last evening's explosion, working along with local specialists providing technical support. Following their assessment, the team will advise on any additional resources or measures required to expedite the investigation process. Police have issued a wanted bulletin for this man in blue who was seen putting a black bag onto the premises to the gas station before fleeing the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact 911 or the nearest police station. Calvin Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
The Environmental Protection Agency EPA is turning up the pressure on noise offenders in Guyana. Teaming up with the Guyana Police Force, the agency has intensified efforts to silence blaring music, noisy workshops, and other disturbances that continue to disrupt communities nationwide. Officials say new fines and tougher enforcement are on the way. Donna Dorick reports.
The Environmental Protection Agency says while everyone has the right to enjoy music, that right ends where someone else's peace begins. Speaking on the Police and You podcast, head of the EPA's Investigation and Enforcement Division, Surjpal Singh, said the agency is guided by the Noise Management Regulations of 2000, which define noise as any unwanted or continuous sound that causes discomfort to people or the environment.
The right for you to enjoy your music is not the right to disturb others, right? So we know that persons, they have hobbies. I myself, I like to listen to music, but at a very, very low level. But there are persons out there who, they would like to listen music at a very loud rate, right, without consideration of persons surrounding them.
Singh explained that the EPA receives a steady stream of complaints, many are from residents who prefer to remain anonymous. Once a location is reported, however, the agency can still act, even without a formal statement. That's where the partnership with the Guyana Police Force comes in. While the EPA can investigate based on a site report, the police require a formal statement to press charges. Since 2022, both agencies have strengthened collaboration through joint inspections, training sessions, and enforcement operations to clamp down on chronic offenders. The EPA has also trained police officers to use sound level meters, helping build stronger cases backed by evidence.
It started because of the constant complaints that we were getting about noise nuisance. And they are basically ranging from domestic noise, meaning neighbors playing music in the neighborhood, bars, workshops, and these activities that basically gives the unwanted sound that we classify as noise. So we joined that collaboration with the Guyana Police Force in 2022. And since then, we have had active collaboration with the police in terms of training sessions, joint inspections, where we see enforcement being applied.
Singh noted that noise pollution extends beyond loud parties, including cars with booming speakers, mechanical workshops in residential areas, and even weddings or backyard barbecues. Under current regulations, offenders can face fines ranging from $300,000 to $750,000, and the EPA is working to empower police to ensure these penalties directly under the agency's authority. The EPA says it will continue joint enforcement with police while ramping up public awareness campaigns through the Noise Management Committee. Singh added that with stronger collaboration and steeper fines, the agency hopes residents will think twice before cracking up the volumes. Adana Dorik, Guyana TV9 News.
Thank you, Adana. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamahar Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Welcome back. You're watching the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin. Despite strong legal protections under the Family Violence Act of 2024, victims of domestic violence in Ghana continue to face delays and inaction from reporting breaches to protection orders. From being told no vehicle is available to come back later, some victims say the lack of timely police response leaves them vulnerable and erodes confidence in the justice system. Superintendent Shalon Daniels has warned that such failures not only endangers lives but also undermines the intent of the law meant to protect them. Faith Sandy has details in this report.
Under the Family Violence Act, police officers are legally required to take immediate action when a protection order is breached. Reports should trigger swift investigations, evidence collection, and enforcement of the court's directives. Superintendent Shalon Daniels said that while the legislation provides a solid framework, systemic inefficiencies and resource challenges continue to weaken its impact.
When you look at it, we also have our laws, right? The Criminal Jurisdiction Procedure Act that makes provisions for where the person is refusing to give the evidence, where the court can do certain things. But if you're asking for the court to take certain drastic actions against the victim, it might more look as if they were seeking to re-victimize the victim. And I don't think that is the purpose of the court. And at the same time, the court and the police duty is to ensure the safety of society, likewise the victims and the perpetrator at the same time.
Among the most common failures are officers refusing to take reports, stations citing lack of transportation to enforce orders, and delays in follow-up when victims seek help. In some cases, police stations do not have copies of active protection orders on file, forcing victims to repeatedly pursue assistance or escalate complaints to senior officers.
It is for the victim to go to the station sergeant, and now we have inspectors in charge of stations. And if the victims are not satisfied at that level, then go and seek to speak with the subordinate, the subdivision officer. That officer will ensure that that order is dealt with, because domestic violence matters are zero tolerance for a reason, to prevent any reoccurrence or much serious issues developing. And if the victim, having listened to these programs, choose to go and apply for the protection order, it is only fitting that the police do what they are required to do.
To close these gaps, the Guyana Police Force has introduced structured escalation channels, ensuring that reports can move from station sergeants to inspectors, subdivision officers, and commanders for timely response. Daniels emphasized that zero tolerance must guide enforcement, backed by closer monitoring by senior ranks and public education initiatives, such as the Police and You program, which empowers victims to understand their rights and demand action.
You have impact base. If you go there, you have an engagement with one of the inspectors or the officer in charge. They will assist you. If you go to the station and they is reluctant to assist you, do not hesitate to get on to the commander or get on to the operations room. And I'm going to give you the operations room number. It is 227-1149. 227-1149. When you call the number, you may get a little prompt or a delay, or it is answered immediately. Let the person that answers the phone know, ask to speak to the duty inspector on call there. That inspector is going to listen to you and advise you accordingly. and provide the necessary assistance where necessary.
Ensuring justice, Daniels noted, requires victims to be aware of escalation procedures and for officers to be properly trained, resourced, and held accountable. She added that continuous education and strict oversight are vital to transforming protection orders from symbolic documents into powerful tools that genuinely safeguard lives. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
The Ministry of Education has moved decisively to tackle persistent pigeon infestations affecting several schools along the east coast of Demerara. Announcing the initiative recently, Minister of Education Sonia Parang says a specialized contractor has been engaged to implement comprehensive measures to safeguard students and school facilities. Donna Doric has more in this report.
At Better for Watson BV Primary School, Minister Parag detailed the plan, which includes a thorough pressure washing installation of galvanized mesh to block birds from entering buildings and a special gel treatment on roofs to prevent pigeons from nesting.
Previously, I had said that we wanted children to be in school on Monday, but what we will do is that we are accommodating I have consulted with HM as well as Mr. McCurdy, who is the head of the PTA, and we have determined that the grade 6 students can be back in school on Monday. And for those grades that will not be able to come into school on Monday, we will be distributing the worksheets to every one of those students for them to be able to still continue the learning process. We don't want that to stop. We don't want that to be disrupted. But we also want students to be in a very safe environment.
Minister Parag also directed that the upcoming Christmas break to be used for a deep clean of all affected schools to further minimize risks to students. Officials from the Governmental Protection Agency APA who joined the minister on the site visits emphasized the role of the wider community in managing the problem. Michelle Swatson, nurse, head of the EPA's Technical Services Department, Air, Noise, and Radiation, stressed that residents feeding pigeons near schools are exacerbating the infestation.
And we have observed that residents are feeding the pigeons in the vicinity of the school. And this is contributing to the bird population getting out of control. While it may seem kind to feed them, it results in droppings from these birds in excess, and this will trigger allergic reactions, disease, and the birds generally become a pest. So we have to ask residents to refrain from feeding these birds in the vicinity of schools and other public buildings.
Minister Parag expressed optimism that with continued effort and community cooperation, the issue can be resolved humanely without harming the birds. In addition to BV Primary, she visited Annandale and Golden Grove Secondary Schools, both experiencing similar challenges. Accompanying her were Chief Education Officer Mr. Sadim Hussain, Deputy Chief Education Officer Administrations, Mrs. Tiffany Harvey, Regional Chairman, Mr. Climsford Belgrave, Regional Education Officer, Ms. Keen Adams, District Education Officer, Ms. Caroline Daniels, BB Primary Head Teacher, Ms. Gidil Austin, and PTA Representative, Mr. Alvin McCordy. Adana Dore, Ghana TV9 News.
As Ghana gears up to observe Road Safety Month 2025, the National Road Safety Council and the Ministry of Home Affairs are joining forces on a month-long campaign aimed at saving lives through education, awareness, and enforcement.
The annual observance will feature a series of events across all regions, encouraging safer road use and stronger community participation in reducing traffic-related deaths. The program begins in early November with an interfaith service uniting stakeholders and citizens in reflection and prayer for safer roads. The official launch will take place on November 7, 2025 in Region 5, continuing the tradition of rotating host regions each year to promote national inclusion and shared responsibility.
One of the things we will be starting the Road Safety Month with, of course, is the interfaith service, where we believe that prayers is always a good thing to start off the month with road safety. That's going to be the Tuesday in the first week of November. Then we'll have the launching of the Road Safety Month of activities on the 7th, and that's going to be in Region 5. as you're aware, and I guess the public should be aware by now, that Road Safety Month, we try to move it from one region to another.
Schools are once again taking center stage in this year's observance. A school road safety rally will include a march past, banner competition, and special training sessions to teach students how to be safe as pedestrians, passengers, and future drivers. Follow-up visits will be made to participating schools to help integrate road safety principles into the curriculum, ensuring that young people adopt lifelong habits of safety and awareness.
We would be launching it with a school road safety rally. And if the people in Region 5, the schools in Region 5 are listening, and the outlying area close to Region 5, Region 6 and Region 4, 4C, you can start preparing, your schools can start preparing and planning for the road safety rally. That means we're training our children to march, we're training them to have do the march pass and the eyes right and all the things that comes with the marching, and also the banner competition and all the competitions that comes with the rally. I guess the Redo and the persons responsible for the schools will inform the schools in the area.
Other major highlights include the observance of the World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims on November 16th, paying tribute to those who lost their lives in road crashes. A pedestrian crossing repainting campaign done in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works and Men on Mission will also roll out nationwide to improve visibility and safety in high traffic areas. Meanwhile, the White Knight campaign, which encourages stronger collaboration between civilians and the police, will continue to promote road discipline and shared accountability among all road users. The month-long observance will culminate with the launch of the 2026 Road Safety Magazine, highlighting key achievements, community partnerships, and lessons learned throughout the year's initiatives. Faith Sandy, Ghana TV9 News.
And finally, in tonight's newscast, an update from Category 5 Hurricane Melissa wreaking havoc in the Caribbean. Hurricane Melissa has roared to life as a Category 5 monster churning toward Jamaica with the threat of catastrophic flooding, deadly landslides, and massive destruction. Forecasters warn it could be the strongest storm ever recorded to strike the island since record keeping began in 1851. Authorities have issued urgent hurricane warnings calling on residents to stock up on essentials, securing their homes, and to move to higher ground as the storm approaches. Melissa has already left a deadly trail across the northern Caribbean, blamed for 6 deaths and widespread devastation. It's expected to make landfall in Jamaica on Tuesday before battering Cuba and moving towards the Bahamas. Meanwhile, parts of the Dominican Republic remains on red alert after Melissa's torrential rains flooded dozens of communities. Drone footage from the region shows emergency teams delivering food and medical supplies to families stranded by floodwaters. Officials there reported more than 750 homes damaged and at least 1 life lost. Now Jamaica braces for impact as Hurricane Melissa, a storm of historic strength, takes aim at the island. And that's all for tonight's news bulletin. Remember to check us out on Facebook and our YouTube platforms at Ghana TV9, GUI TV9, for more trending stories. I'm Colin Abrams. Good night.